Welcome back to Daily DeFi. Today is May 10th of 2021, Monday. Hope everyone was doing well. I do apologize for this weekend. We typically always do 3 videos a day, but now that I'm back in the United States for a week, for a funeral, I had that on Saturday, then Mother's Day on Sunday. Now we're back to normal. Just going to be here in the U.S. for about a week, and then off to Georgia, Armenia, Ukraine, kind of visit those areas, focus on emerging market investing, and then from there, most likely down to Africa and looking at some opportunities there. So essentially, over the weekend, we saw this crazy rise. I don't even think I turned on my phone at all yesterday or Saturday, to be honest. It was just like full of family. I have a lot of family in the Midwest here, so I was able to see a lot of them. That was good. I hope everyone had a great weekend with their family. That's always the most important thing this time of year is catching up with family, catching up with friends, and making sure that you're maintaining those relationships. And moving forward, you can hopefully try and talk about some things in the decentralized finance space. I actually was talking with a lot of family members, some that I haven't seen in a long time who are, in their 50s or 60s, and, they have their 401k, they have a stock market account, and they're always like, hey, what's this Bitcoin thing? What's this crypto thing? And a lot of them literally they're like, hey, I don't know a lot about these things. You're saying a lot of things that are probably confusing me a little bit, but how do I invest in this? How do I get going? And they're just looking at the Coinbase route. And that's the thing I think that you have to identify with this series is you're so early. If you even understand any of the things we talk about in this daily DeFi, you are ahead of the curve. You have to understand that these things are generational divides, okay? So if you grew up in the kind of internet era, you may understand these things a little bit better. Maybe I'm assuming like the majority of my demographics on this channel are anywhere from really like 35, I would say upwards to 40. And again, this is the majority. Obviously, there are other demographics, but the majority is around 40 to 23, 24 in that range. And I think it's interesting because a lot of those people, they've had to innovate very quickly and they've had to adapt to these changing times, going from the iPod, like the iPod 1 to the iPhone, what is it? 10X Max, 11? I don't know. I don't really track the iPhones, but you know what I'm saying with these constant stages of innovation. And it's the same with this decentralized finance space, except it's not just technology. This is changing money, literally. The whole finance market, it's creating a layer on top of that is more decentralized, more fair, more of an open playing field for all emerging markets, for all people, and doesn't care about your age, doesn't care about your gender, doesn't care about where you were born, doesn't care about your religion. It's open. The same things that the ultra high net worth, like the billionaires were able to access throughout all of history, today we're bringing to everyone. Doesn't matter, again, where you're from at all. So anyways, all that being said, little rant over. Point of the story is had a great weekend. That's why there were no videos yesterday. I hope you guys have joined the Telegram group. We're going to have that link down below pretty much every video now. Telegram group is great. I was just thinking, it'd be like, I was hoping for just like, 20, maybe 10 or 20 people, a little small group, but it continues to grow. The original link that I set out with that video is just to the channel updates. So that one is just where basically the admins of the channel can send updates. I will maybe send some updates every now and again. In that group, I posted the link to the actual group chat. Okay, so you understand the first one is basically the group, and the second one is the group chat. Just wanted to get these kind of housekeeping things out of the way, and then let's dive into the markets. Basically, today we're going to be talking about Wanchain, Haven, iExec, which I honestly do not know a lot about, but I see it's performing very well when most things are just a bit sideways today. The weekend was pretty crazy for Cardano, so we'll talk about some news with that. And, Elon Musk was on SNL, which I still have not seen any. Like I said, when I'm around family, I don't use electronics, basically. Like, I use electronics as a tool. I don't use them for entertainment purposes. I use them either for research, for business, doing things like this YouTube channel, which I enjoy doing. But as far as like consuming information, I prefer books. So I prefer either talking with people or books. I do not prefer, that's why, you don't see me that active on Twitter because I just don't have the time. So like any time that I would allocate to doing this channel, I would maybe have a kind of piece of that pie allocated towards Twitter. But yeah, so just that's kind of just some explanation of how I kind of roll when I'm around family. I really like genuine time. Like I hate when people are on their phones. It kills me to see people on their phones. When you go out to dinner or anything like this, where you basically see a couple and they sit down and they like maybe talk back and forth for a second and then they're on their phones, or a family, they talk back and forth and then the kid is going crazy, so they give them a phone. It's scary. I mean, I just think we're still so early in this technology world. And yeah, anyways, let's hop into it. So on DeFi Pulse, the total value locked in decentralized finance is at $84.79 billion. We're seeing new all-time highs pretty much every single day. Like I said, I've said this so many times with this series. With Daily DeFi 100, I was pretty proud because, we've been covering it since it was 25. 25 billion was locked in. Yeah, even less than that. Even less than that. That's pretty awesome. So, moral of the story is follow Daily DeFi. This is an incredible series, and I love doing it. So maker dominance is actually pushing up at 17.82%. DeFi Pulse Index is up a little bit today at 574.67. We're seeing maker, compound, and Aave. So compound pushed past Aave. Yesterday, Aave was above. That is interesting to see. Go check out that video I did on the top three, basically going through maker, compound, and Aave. Why these lending protocols are the top three in value locked in versus the other ones. Then you see DEXs going in, and you don't really see a lot of payments, for example. Like Polygon is an interesting play there. You're in finance and the assets play. But you see all these top ones here: lending, decentralized exchange, DEX, lending, payments, assets, DEX. Okay, so what are kind of the trends? What's the narrative going on? And then you can form your own thesis on that. So go watch that Daily DeFi that I did. I'm going to start implementing more of those into this series because I do plan to do it every day. Rarely something like yesterday will happen where I just wasn't able to schedule one ahead of time because it's been crazy with the flights, from Istanbul and Turkey back here while running business, doing investing and running this YouTube channel and then seeing family, friends, all these different things. It was a bit of a challenge, but moving forward, I hopefully will never miss 2 days in a row of Daily DeFi, and at least 6 episodes a week is basically the goal. Ideally 7, obviously, because it is Daily DeFi. But if something like that happens, ideally I would be able to schedule something where I would do a deep dive into, for example, we did like Chainlink 2.0 or Umbrella Protocol. Something like that where we're able to focus in on one individual aspect that doesn't matter on the daily news, because I record these on the day that they're posted. You have to understand that. So it's just like the raw kind of my thoughts on the day as far as Sterling. And since I'm back in the US, I have a pup with me, a dog named Sterling. Sterling, relax. So anyways, let's hop into juicy NFTs. Let's see this. The NFT 24-hour volume is $2.5 million. On the daily. CryptoPunks is 981,000. Sandbox Lands second. Yesterday it was up crazy. Like yesterday, I think it was around like $7 million transacted yesterday. Pretty insane. Elon Musk, SpaceX launching Dogecoin to the moon mission. So, he was on SNL recently. Again, I haven't watched much of it, but basically he kind of brushed Dogecoin off as kind of like a what do you call it? Like a hustle. And that kind of sent the price down. I personally don't like investing in these things. I have a long-term time horizon on my investments. I'm not looking to invest in that many memes. There's certain things you can invest in just for fun. For example, I don't knock anyone if you don't have any debt, if you don't have anyone that needs money, which is very, very rare. If you can help out family and friends, why are you putting your money into something like Dogecoin? Help the family and friends. That investment will pay out much more than this. I guarantee you. Dogecoin, if you're buying it at 50 cents, I don't really know what you're doing. If you were buying it at 0.0001 cent, maybe. And anyways, just not my cup of tea personally. Let me know in the comments what you think of Doge. If you think this run is over now that Elon's kind of pushed it out a little bit. He's been tweeting about it so much. This kind of SpaceX thing. So SpaceX launched Dogecoin, the first ever commercial lunar payload paid entirely in Dogecoin. According to SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, Dogecoin will become the first crypto and first meme in space. This is pretty hilarious. But it's like, okay, when I talk about do your own research, so I talk about fundamentals, technicals, sentimental analysis, and then in this space, in the cryptocurrency industry, you can use on-chain analysis because of blockchain technology. With Dogecoin, if you count sending it to space as a fundamental, okay, but that's really in a different category. Like maybe I would put this in sentimental analysis, which I only weigh like I weigh these each kind of on, like if you look at a whole, like a pie chart, I have different percentages for each of them based on what I understand about the project. So to me, research is a giant part of investing. Like that's what I spend a lot of my time on, especially with emerging markets. And in the crypto space, if you're curious on how to do your own research, just watch the video down below, how to do YOR, how to do your own research. I'll probably do an updated one fairly soon. I'm digging more into tokenomics. And as far as this goes, it's interesting. It's funny, but we'll see how short-lived it is or how maybe long-lived it is. Again, I'm not playing in the meme space currently. I don't knock anyone who is. Kind of my thesis on this is, we focus much too much on what happened in the past 24 hours and not nearly enough on the past 10,000 years. So many people are just tunnel visioned into Dogecoin, and they're not looking at gold, they're not looking at silver, and they're not looking at uranium, they're not looking at lithium. And these are things that I'm more interested in the long term, the longevity of things versus something like this. Like I would consider this more of a speculation more than an investment. You know what I mean? I hope all those Dogecoin fanboys or whatever out there, don't go too crazy. So Cardano smashes new all-time high following 14% gain. So with a value of nearly 58 billion, ADA has flipped Tether in market cap rankings. Cardano's ADA cryptocurrency surged on Sunday, bringing the smart contract platform back into elite territory in terms of market capitalization rankings. So 14% growth. It's done absolutely crazy gains. I mean, I was into Cardano very, very early. I will just say that. And I have realized a lot of profits have already de-risked from my position. I am not currently buying more. Maybe you should be, but it just all depends on what you're looking for. Like, what are you optimizing for, right? Like if someone has already invested a lot into Cardano at a very, very small valuation, like a small market cap valuation at least, maybe investing now isn't exactly what you should do. Maybe you should kind of shift some of this capital, if you believe in the Cardano ecosystem, to some of the lower cap projects like Cards, for example. I talked about Card Starter in a recent video, how basically it's a launch pad on Cardano. So could be an interesting play. I'm looking more at identifying the narrative of the smart contract blockchain platforms and going, okay, what are the things that we need to build this as a true ecosystem? If it's really going to have global adoption, what are the things it's going to need? Well, it's going to need a decentralized exchange. For Cardano, there is something like this. It's going to need a launch pad. It's going to need an Oracle. It's going to need many things in this. It's going to need a nice lending platform. It's going to need a nice payments platform. This is the things that you want to look at. And you want to look at yin and yang. So you want to look, okay, what's the top dog? And then what's something that maybe is a lower market cap, but could be an interesting play. Maybe they're carving out a different niche, and eventually they can take them over by market cap. So identify these things, build out a plan. I talk about this in the global investment strategy. But that's kind of my thoughts on Cardano currently. I think it's great they're having these gains. So RLC. I honestly do not know a lot about this project, but it is up 80% on the daily. Maybe I should do a video about it, because what the heck is this? I mean, this is a pretty crazy, a parabolic move towards the upside. I don't know if they had news. I don't know exactly. Let's pop over to their Twitter real quick, which you can go and follow the Invest Global Twitter. But let's go to iEx to kind of check out exactly what is going on here. Let me know in the comments, by the way, while this is loading, if you know much about iEx, or if I'm even saying it right. It might be iExec. Yeah, I think it's iExec. But let's see. Well, it's having a bit of troubles there. I have really fast internet, so I'm not sure exactly if there's a problem with their website. Maybe they have some issues, because I mean, this market cap has gone up, 80%. That's pretty insane. Almost at $1 billion valuation, $12.27. Basically when I do these daily DeFi series, these three coins that I showcase and outloaded I'm never buying them, by the way. These are ones that are just performing well on the daily. That's basically the structure that I do, is I look at the coins that are kind of performing well in the daily time frame, because it's a daily series. So if I included coins that I was buying on the daily, it probably, I don't know if I would do that. I might do that in like a private video thing moving forward, but I don't like putting out public buy times, because then people FOMO in and try and like front run. I am not a big fan of that, because especially if you're moving a large amount of capital into a project, you don't want this to happen to you, especially with a low cap project, right? Because you could be moving the price a lot. So, okay, basically decentralized marketplace for cloud resources. Interesting. All right, maybe I'll do a separate video on this one. But I'm moving on to Haven Protocol. We've talked about this in the past. XHV, right around $25, 5% up on the daily. The volume is up, which I like looking at the volume almost more than percentage change in price, to be quite honest with you. A lot of people don't understand why that is. Maybe I can do a kind of an explanation video on that. But on the 24-hour time frame, it's up 25%, right around to what? 3,151,000. That's interesting. Okay, with wow, that's up a lot actually. So with a market cap of only 356 million, interesting play there with Haven. And then Wanchain, we've done a detailed video on this one, kind of a deep dive. I almost put this one in the same categories like BitShares or like EOS, where they had this crazy parabolic run, in kind of 2017, 2018 times, and now they really haven't been doing much. But, if this just goes to where it was before, obviously that's the thesis. You could make whatever. Right now it's around like 4x your money, or right around 4.5 to 5x your money. But it's like, okay, do you believe in the future of Wanchain, or are you more interested in something like Cardano? So that's basically it for today's Daily DeFi. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. As always, like, subscribe button all. As always, invest global. Let me know in the comments what you want to see in tomorrow's Daily DeFi. And until next time.